It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160, 101.1 FM. And Kerry Colburn is on the line with us this morning. The book is called, Kerry, I'm going to let you say it because I'm not allowed to. It's Witchcraft, but it starts with a different letter than W. Yes.
This is Bitchcraft.
Oh.
Simple spells for everyday annoyances and sweet revenge.
How about that? How did you come up with the concept, Kerry?
It's really easy. It turns out I annoy easily. So my goal is for women to be able to get back at those people who annoy them on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. And you don't need to be a witch with a W to make it happen. This is about using your own inner power, your intention to just, exact revenge on just those little things that otherwise drive you crazy every day. Someone who cuts you off in traffic, the coworker who steals your thunder in a meeting, a bad date, a loud movie talker. Really, all those things that you kind of carry with you and think, God, I wish I could have done something, said something. This book gives you simple hexes that you can do just to get back at those people and move on. I
got to tell you, when I first got the book, I opened it up and I started reading, and I didn't really realize that I was, sometimes I'll do this, just, thumb through and stop it apart, and I didn't realize it, but I had started in the romance section. And I thought, Kerry, the first thing I thought as I was reading the first one was, Kerry, are you okay? Do you need...
See, the love section, there's a section for love, work, home, travel, all the aspects of your life. And I would say, the love section is one that people sort of, it draws you like a magnet. Everyone, whether you're single or partnered up, everyone can use a little help in that area. So if you have a bad date or your partner's not treating you right, there's just a simple hex for that, and you feel better.
Yeah, and they're so much fun. I can picture you riding to work someday or doing some grocery shopping, whatever you happen to be doing, and one of these comes to mind, and all of a sudden you're trying to remember.
Well, that's exactly right. So the idea is, because this is not witchcraft with a W, you don't need an altar or a cauldron or eye of newt or any special ingredients, really. I mean, some of the hexes include some herbs or essential oils or a candle or, writing someone's name on a piece of paper, simple things. But a lot of them are just hexes you can mutter, under your breath in a meeting, on a date, on the bus, and just feel like you've done something to just get a little bit of revenge on somebody who's been just a little obnoxious.
Yeah, and we'll give people an example here, because not all of these apply only to women. So many of them apply to men as well. I'm on page 24 right now, and I'm looking at the heading, Painfully Slow Checkout Clerk.
Yes, this is one that we all encounter every day. See, these things don't have to be a big deal to bug you, right? Mm-hmm. So this is one of those things that you encounter, and I'm talking not the person who means well but is slow. We're talking about the person who is purposely slow, scrolling through Instagram and just barely helping you check out your groceries. And for that one, it's quite simple. You take your receipt. When you leave the store, you fold it up like a paper airplane. You throw it far away from you, and you say, "You didn't work quickly or respect my time, so your day off will involve an epic Target line." See, it's the punishment fits the crime. We're not having really bad things befall people. We're having, kind of an equal amount of irritation hit them the way it hit you.
And little did your victims know that as they were mistreating you in some small or maybe even large way, they were making their way into your book, that you were sitting there in that moment thinking, I have just the thing for you. Exactly.
And it really is all, there's some people who believe, anything you put out into the universe comes back to you threefold. So these are not, we don't want to take a chance on doing something really bad to anybody. This is kind of all in good fun and just is intended to make you feel a little better and make them feel a little bad for what they've done. And I think that's empowering for the person in charge.
Kerry Colburn is our guest here on Indiana in the Morning. She's a publishing consultant and the author of all kinds of good books like Get Happy, Stay Happy, Good Drinks for Bad Days. She lives in Seattle.
You see a theme here.
Yeah.
It's all about making yourself feel better. Really, I look at my books and I think, oh, I see the pattern.
Are you a particularly versy person? How did you come up with all of these?
Well, yeah, I'm a word person, and as my family will tell you, I'm a person that I believe that things should be done right, and so it really drives me crazy when somebody, parks the wrong way or calls me when they shouldn't, or coworkers that email you when you're supposed to be on vacation, or the bad customer service rep. Those things really just irk me, and I realized what I needed was a way to make myself feel like I could move on from it. And because I'm a writer, the natural thing to do was think, what kinds of words could I say or do to make myself feel better and make me feel like I've gotten a little bit of revenge. So I came up with these just from all the things that annoy me on a daily basis, honestly, and asking around. I also polled people about the things that drove them most crazy.
Let's take a drive through the book a little bit and to stop at a few places that are going to be common themes for everybody. The ruiner or hogger of the bathroom.
Is that one that applies to you?
Well, to somebody in the building. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, that the things to do with roommates, house guests, all that kind of thing. I mean, everybody needs something that can get back at those people who really just take what should be a sanctuary and mess it up. So that one's quite easy. You're going to it's ideal if you've got a plunger and a match, but if not, just something that smells good you're going to put in the bathroom, and you're going to say, you spoil my bathroom, my anger won't be abated, but for the next week, you'll be constipated.
Oh. Wow, Kerry, sometimes I think I want to know you, and sometimes I think I don't.
You want to know me, but you don't want to cross me.
Oh, I see. That's a good point. There's a section at the end of the book that needs to be right at the beginning because this gets every single person, and it's on bad drivers.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
There's, the commute is something that when I talk to other people, that was just a frequent, a frequent thing that if you ask someone what annoys you on a daily basis, it's driving, right? It's commuting, it's, the bus and train, things like that were up there too, but the driving is really the thing that gets people down. So there's everything from the utterly directionally challenged Uber driver to the evil parking enforcement person to, someone who cuts you off in traffic. There's really all the traffic issues are covered in this book.
You hit them all. I love the person who pulls out in front of you, really busts their rear end to pull out in front of you so they can go 20 miles an hour slower than the speed limit. And what do I do? Now I know. I can come up with a spell.
Exactly.
I can carry this book with me.
These can be done safely in your own car. You don't need to mix up anything. You don't need to, you don't need to be in a special place with special ingredients. You can just, you can say it and move on.
Yeah, and that's what we're unfortunately going to have to do right now is move on from our conversation with Kerry Colburn. Kerry, how do people get the book? How do people read your stuff?
All my books are available on Amazon or your local bookstore, really anywhere books are sold. And can they find you online as well? Absolutely. I have an Amazon author page that is just if you put Kerry Colburn into the search, then you'll find me.
Beautiful. Hey, thanks so much for this. Again, the book's title is? Bitchcraft.
Simple spells for everyday annoyances and sweet revenge.
There, I got away with not saying it.
You did. Done.
You didn't, but I did. Kerry, thanks so much for being with us. It's been fun.
Yes, thank you for having me.